knew rugby from university because I studied sports science back in Italy, and in that we were doing practicing all the sports. I've done football, swimming for 2 years basically. We were doing all the sports, and rugby came through for 6 months. I had a really good teacher, and I loved it. I loved always the contacts, but it's not really popular in Italy, so I never really done it. And I've played volleyball for 20 years, basically. And then at one point, I just wanted to change in contact. I actually wanted to start football, but there were no teams around my area. But I found a rugby team, so I started. That was my first time in 2018, at end of 2018. So I started to play there, 7v7 unfortunately, because it's not so popular as I said, so both for females. So we were 7 against 7 and not a lot of number, a lot of people. But then we started like a common team with the surrounding teams and in Milan, and started 15v15 the year after, so 2019. But then COVID was really bad in that area, so we just stopped. And I actually started playing real rugby here in London, and started last year with Wasp Amateurs, and then came here, and here we go. Here we are.
Wow. What brought you from Italy over to London?
Well, a lot of things, personal life, but mostly Italy was crazy with COVID, and I was feeling really in a cage. And I was neo graduated, so I wanted just to do something of my life. So I said, why not? Let's come here. I want to learn English. I want to learn rugby. Actually, rugby was a big part of the decision as well. Plus my partner, and we just came here during COVID. Was such a crazy story. So we were in Slovenia. So from Italy we went to Slovenia. Slovenia locked down again. We had to take a train to Austria because Vienna was the only city that had flights once a week. So we had 7 hours train to Vienna, and then we came from just that flight on the Tuesday was Tuesday to London, because no other countries were available to fly from. Crazy.
Oh my god. And then, so you said you were at Wasps Rugby.
Yep.
You managed to play a few games for them, and then now you moved over to Richmond with us now, thankfully. What was integral in that change? What brought you over to Richmond?
I really loved Wasps, and the girls were amazing, coaches great, but I think I got as much as I could from them, teaching wise and rugby wise. Probably there was much more. However, I just decided to challenge myself, to have also big group, because in Wasp we were sometimes struggling with numbers, and tried like a higher level. Why not? And I think it worked.
Yeah, I like to think so. I mean, you've got the starting spot last week. I'll actually talk about last week. We had Reading at home, and you were a monster in the air.
I tried to be.
Yeah. So, do you think your volleyball background helps with your lineouts?
Well, totally, 100%. I think the jumping, the power in the jumps come from that. We jumped so much. Like as a spiker, you have to jump. Like I think 30% of the training session, 5 times per week, was just jumping, plyometrics and stuff. Plus, then you have the part of like games during the training session, and you jump again. And then timing, of course, is coming from that. You have to have a great timing, ball meeting, and I think also the catching coming from them. I like to think that I'm a good catcher, ball catcher, and I think I'm doing quite well. So yeah, I think that's coming from volleyball 100%.
What a great change for you.
Yep.
Have you been enjoying your time playing rugby?
I really like the contact. Like it's something that I really miss in volleyball, and I realized just when I started a game like rugby, it's incredible. And then yeah, lineouts, I'm feeling so useful to the team, and it's amazing. And I like the group. Also the group. I've done a lot of sports like volleyball. I've done also athletics and stuff, but the group, the community that you build with rugby is just here. You can't find it anywhere else.
Fantastic. So we'll cast our eyes to this Saturday. We have the Richmond doubleheader.
Yep.
How excited are you to play on a Saturday in front of what we're expecting around about 1,000 fans after the men's game? How excited are you to play?
I mean, if I think too much, I'm getting a bit nervous, but excited, 100% excited. We can't wait to give our best in front of our supporters, and really can't wait for everything and all the voices and the noise. Can't wait.